Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the DJ Sessions Presents the Virtual Sessions. I'm your host, Darren, and right now I'm sitting in the virtual studios in Seattle, Washington, and coming in all the way from Milan, Italy, we have none other than Andrea Grasselli, also known as ATCG, in the studios with us today. Andrea, how's it going today?
Hi Darren, hi everybody. Yeah, very well here in Milan. It's a little bit cold these days. Summer over, and nice. It's nice.
You know, I got to make it over to Italy, and we were talking a little bit about this pre-show that I do plan to spend a little bit more time over there in Europe next year. Definitely want to get one of those Eurail passes and kind of see everything. I do plan to be on site in Berlin a lot, but definitely making it to Amsterdam, Barcelona, and Ibiza finally. But definitely want to make it down that route. Maybe a partnership with Origami. We'll talk about that in the interview.
Yeah.
Here and in the interview. But you know, you have some jumping right into the interview here. You have some new releases, next releases that are coming out, and working with Origami. Talk to our DJ Sessions fans know about that. But right before that, I just remembered I got to ask you, what does the ATCG stand for?
I was born in 28th of December in 1989.
Okay.
So I was searching. I was finding something that can underscore, can elevate this kind of date. No? You know, I was born at the end of the 80s of the 89. So I choose this nickname that stands for 80s siege. It's like a siege of the 80s. You know, because I want to take the people. I want to know that I was born at the end of the 80s. So that's the real name.
Nice. You know, it's always interesting to find out the thought behind somebody's name when they create and put it out there. You know, I don't know where the DJ sessions came out of my mind, 16 years ago. I was like, I'm going to do this. All I had was this series called ITV Nightlife, which was a broadcast show. And then I'm like, okay, well, we're going to have these DJs come and play and stream live. What are we going to call this? And I'm like, well, they're coming by and it's called a session. And there's DJs. And why not call it the DJ Sessions? Okay, cool. Let's go with it. That's how it came about. So it's always interesting to get the history and stuff behind that. But you do releases, you do podcast series, and more, and shows. We're going to talk all about that. But what's your current release that you have that you just put out right now?
This summer for me was a very important summer for my music. Because I made an official remix for Tujamo for his greatest hit Who. I made an edit, an Afro Latin edit of his hit. I put the edit on SoundCloud for free download. I put some videos on socials like TikTok, Instagram of me playing my edit, and a lot of people tagged Tujamo under my reels, and one day he answered me like, bro, this is awesome, we can make it as an official remix. And I was like, wow, it's amazing. The other one was a official one with the Patrick Toppings label Trick. And I made the release in August on Patrick Topping official label. Also, this one was for me. It's like a very special goal for me because I sent over like 1,000 demo to him during these years, yeah? And always declined. This time I had these demos that I was not pretty sure to send this to him because it was not 100% his sound, but I in the studio with my friends, and they told me, man, send it over, because I think maybe sometimes he play this kind of music. And then I sent it over to him, and the day after, I was on a plane with my wife, because I was on a honeymoon. When we arrived at the airport, I turned on my iPhone, and the first notification on the iPhone was that Patrick Topping tagged me in a post playing my tune at Ibiza. And Patrick Topping wrote me, yo bro, your demo, it's a banger, it's available, let's make it on my label. I was like, well, it's happening, oh my god. So this summer was very, very, very important for my music and my career also.
Yeah, that's an honor when somebody gets back to you and definitely picks it up. I mean, I love it all the time when people tag me in interviews, or they'll see something and they'll share something, like they'll reshare something online, and it's like, whoa, yeah. I didn't know you read that, or somebody chimes in and makes a comment on something like, you follow my post? Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
It was kind of fun stuff to have happen. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Out of how many tracks do you actually produce a month, and how many get released?
It depends from periods. Maybe I have in 2 months. Maybe in 2 months I produce like 100 tracks, and maybe the 2 months from 10 to 5 tracks. It depends from periods of the year that I get inspired a lot. Maybe from some vocals I received from singers, and there are periods that maybe I'm not too much inspired. But I think that if I produce maybe I say 100 demos, maybe only 10 are released.
Wow, do you think that's kind of standard? Do you think about 10% of what people create actually makes it out there, or do you feel?
I think so because I heard also a lot of my friends that are producers, not only for house music or electronic music, also maybe they produce like pop, trap. That also in this world, in their world, they produce like a lot of demos, a lot of maybe tracks that they never released because maybe they cannot find the singer, they cannot find the label. So I think it's a problem of a lot of producers in every single genre.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the barrier to entry of now, music creation, music distribution being almost anyone can throw stuff out there. You don't even need to really go through a label just to put stuff out there. Obviously, you want the strength of a label to help promote, to help market, to be there. And where are you releasing most of your tracks? Where do they get released on? Do you have your own label, or are you working with other labels when you're pushing these 10 tracks out or so per month?
No, I am a lucky man in this kind of question, because I met Origami 3 years ago, and they are working for me for this kind of problem. Okay, because the problem, I think, for us, for producer, it's finding the right label at the right moment of your career, and at the right moment of the career of the label. So Origami helped me a lot finding the right label for my music. So I think having a music management like them is very, very important in this period of the market of the music industry.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Is kind of it all has to kind of fit together at the right place at the right time to make things happen. Doing this is what I've been doing for years. I literally 5 months ago came off of an 8.5 month hiatus where I just
Okay.
like didn't do anything front facing at all. And
Okay.
even in the last 3-4 months, there have just been more things that have fallen into place. Taking that
Okay.
break, even though I was doing back and stuff, but now things are just falling into place. I mean, the outreach, the vigor, the mindset is just much more there. I'm much more dialed in and directed. Not like I wasn't before, but I know if I was here, I know that I'm here now, and I'm going in the
Okay.
right direction. Where it may have taken
Exactly.
a long time going this way, now it's like, nope, we're going this way. Especially partnering and working with like Origami and the artists and yourself. We're super excited to be doing some stuff there, which we'll talk about later in the
Okay.
interview. Out of all the productions that you've done, and I don't want to talk, if you're making 100 in 2 months, that's a lot of productions. But the ones that
Yeah.
have been released so far, is there one that really stands out to you the most? That's like, that was the one that always, like, I love that track for some reason. I know they're like babies. I know they're like children. I know you put them out in the world. And if anyone ever asked me what my favorite episode of the DJ sessions was, I'd say every single one. Um, but is there one that really stands out to you the most, and why it would stand out to you the most?
I think 2 years ago, I made a track, a cover track of Rihanna, "Don't Stop the Music." But I started doing this as a remix, an unofficial remix, But Origami told me, "Man, this is a banger. This is a banger. We have to make it official in covering the vocals, and we have to make it official because it's a banger. And in this period, there are no versions in this kind of genre out there. So we can make it. We have to make it as an original." I told them, "Okay, but I don't know if people, other DJs will love this production, because I produce it as an unofficial remix, as an edit, to play it maybe in some in DJ sets, like a VIP version of Don't Stop the Music." Then we put this track out, and I was like, okay, let's see what can happen with this vocal. When you cover a track, it gets more hype than an original one, because maybe the vocal, it's you already know the vocal, okay? But in 2 weeks, we get number 1 on BeatForce in 2 weeks.
Nice.
And I was like, wow, they were right. Origami was right. So I think this one, it's like one. It's my favorite track, because it gets number 1 and number 1 for a week. Something like I was not how to say. It was produced like an official remix, and see it on Beatport number 1. I was like, wow, it's happening. I was like very, very surprised. So this track for me was very, very important for my career.
Yeah, it sounds like you and Origami have a really good relationship there, and they know what's the pulse of things. That's why I was typing a note over here going, I got to make sure I recontact. I'm already talking to them on the back end stuff for stuff we'll talk about in a minute here, but I'm like, sounds like this could be a really good connection in the future. People should be focusing on Origami, like subscribe to them, follow them, know what's going on with everything that's releasing. They must have a really good ear over there. Who do you work with primarily over at Origami?
With Leandro da Silva. It's like it's like my mentor. So because it's not also a manager, but if I if I send to Leandro a demo, okay, he can tell me also what to change. Okay, maybe the drums are not okay in this way. Maybe try to make the drums sounds a little bit different, because maybe in the American market they can have a lot of impact in this way. So it's like a music management, but also a producing management. So I think this kind of this double team can make our strength.
I just did an interview with Leandro just recently too, so super excited to have him on the show again.
Yeah.
It'd been a while, so awesome. It's always good to have mentors and people kind of backing you up and supporting you in that way, rather than just here's my track and the label doesn't give any support or guidance. They're like, okay, we put it up, unless they just have that good working relationship and they just trust the artist. Where's the weirdest place or moment that you've ever heard one of your own tracks play?
Oh my god. Yeah, I was with my parents in a restaurant here not in Milan, but I was like in the south of Italy, okay, on vacation, on a holiday. We were like in the restaurant eating our pizza, and I think it was like a tech house playlist on the restaurant, and then my song start to play, and I was like, oh my god, it's my song, and my mom and my dad were like, oh my god, it's your song, because they were very surprised to hear my song not in my hometown, so it's like a strange but a sweet moment for my parents.
Is that do your parents frequently listen to your music? Do you send it to them and let them check it out, or?
Yeah, of course. As Italians, our mom and our dad, for us, the family. The family is it's a very important part of our life and of our career. So, of course.
Did you come from a musical family background, or what gives you the inspiration to do all of this? Like, did you wake up one day and say, I want to start making music, or how? What gives you the inspiration to do all this? Where did it come from?
Well, my family, nobody was a musician. Okay, I don't know where does my passion come from. My father was a football player, and so I really don't know where my passion come from. Maybe some my grandpa or the father of my grandpa, but I don't know. I don't know if somebody was a musician, so I really don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got it somewhere. You got it from somewhere. Somebody's going to take credit for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Producing music obviously is synonymous with spending a lot of time sitting down at the desk, sitting at your computer, sculpting your beats, making your tracks. Where do you find free time in your life to stay fit?
I think that producing, how to say, I produce during the night, because I don't know why, but after dinner it's the perfect time to produce, because I don't have a lot of pressure, because maybe I've done of my homework, all of my stuff during the day. So after dinner is the time of period of the day that I have a free mind to take my laptop and produce. Staying fit. I play football. I go to the gym during the day, maybe in the morning or in the afternoon. So my fit time is after lunch.
Nice. And what happens when you hit like a creation block or do you ever get fed up with making and playing music? And what do you do to deal with that? Do you have a mantra or something that you go to that says, okay, I'm too overwhelmed, I need to take a break? Do you have a go-to kind of meditating or working out or something you go to kind of get back into the game?
Oh yes, I have two kind of method. I am a very passionate motorcyclist. So yeah, I take my moto and I make like 100 200 kilometers, so I can really focus, maybe not on my blog, you know. Then the other one is listening to other genres of music. Maybe I'm stuck in a house, in tech house, trying to make new beats, new music. Maybe to be stuck in one genre, maybe can create a block on the artist. No, when I have this kind of block, I listen to maybe pop or maybe some old Italian music, just to take my mind in another dimension. You know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Definitely, you know, it can happen. It happens to me sometimes. I have to have a set schedule, and I'm up at 7 a.m. or at the computer at the desk at 7 a.m. and I stop at 5. If I go further than that, it's like overkill. I'll just put it on my list to do tomorrow. I have my to-do list. If I don't have my to-do list, I'd be all over the place. But you know, you got to kind of keep a regimen or something to, you know, break the monotony of all this, especially when you hit a block. I've had several times I've been working on a project and I might be spending 3 hours on doing something, and then I realize I just stop, walk away, and I come back tomorrow or maybe the next day, or it's on my to-do list a week later, and I touch it and I go, I figured it out in 30 seconds. Okay, move on.
Yeah.
You know?
maybe it wasn't the right time to do this kind of beat of music. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it happens all the time. Is there something though that you could say to new and up and coming producers to watch out for when it comes to making their career successful? Like a good piece of advice to, you know, other than staying fit or having a mental takeaway, is there any piece of advice out there you could give to an up and coming artist that you think would be quintessential for them to know?
I think consistency. To be consistent on making music, always beat talent. In this period, in 2025, I think that if you take your time, and you have to be consistent of what you are doing. Okay, you see a lot of people, big DJs. With big numbers, etc. But I think we are very lucky to live in this kind of period as producers, because one song can change your life. In the 90s, it was not like this. You have to make a big, long career. You have to make a lot of hits to become big DJ. So. Yeah, I think consistency is the biggest advice I can give.
Definitely, it's one piece of advice that I give to people looking to do, if they want to get into live streaming or making a podcast series, is definitely being consistent. Pick your day of the week, pick your time, so people can know your distribution patterns and know, oh, there's a new thing coming out. Oh, there's a new thing coming out. Don't get momentum going and then stop. People leave. I've had it happen several times before, where you get something up and running and then all of a sudden you have to rebuild your audience all over again. And while you might be hot and can stay top of mind, if you're consistent, you know, you got to stay on a schedule and release. And that's just a key. I think that's a really great piece of advice for any artist, to be consistent. You don't have to be shoving so much content out, but just be consistent. And if you are making so much, say at least once a week, I'm going to do something. And I think that's also huge for the social media following nowadays as well, of at least updating your socials. And you don't have to be fully active and creating viral videos and everything every day, but at least say once a week I'm making a social media post. Once a week I'm talking about this. Once a week something's going to come out.
Exactly.
You know, just so something's building and your fans are like, oh, okay. You know, that's setting up PR, marketing, social media strategy, distribution, all the fun stuff of the business stuff that people don't think about. You know, that it's nice when you're working with a company that can also help assist that, like you're working with Origami to help. Okay, I said, but then they're also pushing as well. You know, and they might have some PR or inroads with other DJs or people they can put it right in the hands to get it playing in clubs, and then people start doing the Shazamming and going, oh wow, that's a hot track. I want to download that myself. So you have some gigs coming up. Can you tell us something about the next shows that you have up and coming?
Yeah, sure. This summer was crazy for me about gigs, because I traveled a lot around Italy and also in Switzerland. And I traveled a lot. I played in some festivals. So this summer was was crazy. Was really nice. And in winter I have a residency here in Milan, in Bergamo, and in Cremona. There are cities around here. So I have also scheduled all the winter season from here, from September to May. So and I will be in Amsterdam also in October. So I'm very busy about gigs from here to May. So it's gonna be a great winter.
Yeah, we're super excited for it. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make ADE this year. Well, at least it's not on the radar for this year. I've been a couple times before. Amsterdam is wonderful. I love the event. When we go there, we always have a great time. We will be partnering with Origami this year and doing some of those secret sessions and distributing those. We're super excited for that. Question is Origami, are they, forgive me, I should know this, but are they based out of Milan? Are they based out of Italy?
Hey, they are based in Rome.
Rome. Okay. Well, great. Now I'm going to have to go to Rome next year as well, which is awesome. So we'll be seeing each other definitely probably in 2026, and super excited for that. But, you know, when you get to travel, you know, do you get time to take in and see some of the cultures of these cities, or do you just fly in, fly out? Or, I mean, you're not too far away. Like me going to New York is a 4.5 hour flight. I got to get there, I got to stay, then I got to get around, because I'm on the West Coast of I should put this. I'm on the West Coast of the United States, and this is the East Coast of the United States, the way it looks like on TV. But, you know, if I go over to, you know, if I'm going to ADE or planning to go to, you know, Barcelona or Ibiza or Rome next year, or even the UK, you know, I like to go there and take in the foods, the sights, the sounds. So, you know, it's kind of a work pleasure trip for me when I go over there. Do you get to do that as well when you're traveling around and check out the culture and everything?
Totally. I love to visit other countries. I love to visit other culture. But as an Italian, I don't like to taste other foods. You know.
Yeah, I'm gonna be spoiled when I come over there.
Well, come on. I think Italian food is the best, man.
Yes.
I taste. I was in Sri Lanka for holiday. Yeah, it's good food there, but I don't know. UK, the worst one. UK food, the worst one. Spanish, okay. I can taste something. I like something. Spanish paella, fish, okay. It's okay, but the worst one I taste is UK food. UK.
I won't say it. I'll go over there. I'll check it out. I'll get back to you. We'll do another show. We'll do a food show all about it.
Yeah, man.
You know, when you're going out and doing shows, do you prefer more large scale events, or would you rather do more intimate nightclub events?
It depends. I here in Milan we have a lot of small clubs. So I was born as a DJ playing in small clubs, okay, and I know very well this kind of situation, you know. And sometimes going to festival, it's good for me because it's a new stage for me. But I was born in a very small situation, about 300, 400 person in small clubs. Also, when I started DJing, I started in small clubs, so I come from small situation, but I think playing in festival with a lot of people in front of you, it's a very emotional moment for a DJ.
It can be. I've heard about recently. I was talking with some DJs, some producers, about the dopamine effect of being on stage and getting that rush of excitement, and then preparing mentally for it. Because 2 hours later, after you're done with your set, you could be in the airport or train station on your phone by yourself, and you just had this huge to, okay, I got to go to my next gig, and dealing with that dopamine rush can be quite jarring, or a big up and a big down, basically. Does that happen with you when you're going on a plane? Do you get a nice big adrenaline pump and then, okay, now I got to decompress? I used to, when I would do my shows, the first times I would do my shows, I'd be dancing next to the DJ live streamer for 4 hours. And then
to decompress,
my girlfriend at the time, she would be like, "Oh, let's go out to the clubs. Everyone's going to the clubs." I go, "Can I just take a break? I did aerobics for 4 hours here in the live show, doing everything, and I just want to take a break before we go out. So I'd just want to sit and chill and be like, okay, let's go." And now we're out partying in the nightclubs and everything, and because it is a performance. I mean, right now I'm in a performance. It takes me even time to just come back to reality that I do this naturally, but to some people this is a hard thing to do, is get up in front of a camera, speak to somebody, and do everything, and then you walk away like, I was just live to thousands of people or hundreds of people online, and now I got to go back on stage again. Do you have any performance anxiety or performance withdrawals when performing?
Anxiety, not so much, but I'm a little bit shy person. So maybe right before my performance and right after, I need to stay alone a little bit, just to before, just to prepare myself for the crowd, for the people, and after, just to decompress a little bit from the volume of the stage, the volume of the people, the lights, everything that a club or a festival can show. So yes, I need to decompress a little bit after the show.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's nice always having a green room if you got one, to chill out, or a hotel room you can go back to. Definitely, and even I have experienced filming events and being up on stage in front of thousands of people. It's still like, oh my gosh, what if I trip and fall? What if I bump the decks? Or what if something happens, and you just want to be professional while you're up there, and you're like, okay, you can get over that stage fright.
But I think the worst sensation I tried, it's when you play maybe one of new demos, okay, and it's not sounding like you want it to sound. So when I drop a new demo, I play a new demo, and I don't like it, and then I jump over the stage. I've got the sensation like, oh my god, I have to take a look at this demo because I have to fix it now, because I played and it's not sounding sounding well, so I have to fix my demo. Oh my god. Okay, this one is the worst sensation.
Yeah, no, I can relate a little bit to that too. I was doing a live stream with a very prominent artist group the other day, and in the chat room, somebody started heckling in the chat room, like making fun of me. and I saw it. It completely took me. You could watch the episode almost and watch when I go, okay, is this going to blow up? And I was listening to the interview of them responding, but I'm watching the chat room over here going, is this going to blow up and go boom? And I was going to try and be there to go in. And that's why you see me sometimes. I'm over here on the keyboard, like I'll look over and I'll be typing a little bit just to like monitor the chat room a little bit, because that can get out of hand and spiral and make for a bad episode. But something like that happening in the middle of a show, you're like, and then it can take you out of your game. And how do you come back with that? You know, luckily in my instance, another fan came in and said, hey, this guy isn't a super fan like you are. Cut him some slack. You know, he may not know everything about him and has been following, and he's just getting to know him. He's just interviewing him. Give him a break. And I kind of felt a little bit like, yes, thank you, fan, for coming in and saving the day for me.
Yeah.
You know, and it got better throughout the rest of the chat room. Everyone started like, this is awesome. I love this interview. Great questions. And I was like, thank you. That's my feedback that I get. You know, being on stage, being at events and doing things, you get to meet a lot of people. And sometimes you meet your idols, your people that are very famous that you kind of look up to. Who's the most important or inspiring person you've ever met backstage, and why that person was such an inspiration to you?
I think Laidback Luke is a Dutch producer and DJ. Because when I start DJing like 15 or maybe 20 years ago, he was the first to make like YouTube tutorials how to scratch. He make also now a lot of tricks with the CDJs, with the mixer. And when I met him like 3 or 4 years ago in Amsterdam, I was like, oh my God, it's Laidback Luke. And I am a super fan of him because I think, the DJ also have to choose the right music, played in the right time of the night. But also, he made also a lot of crazy tricks with vinyl, with CDJ, with the mixer. So I think Laidback Luke was inspiring me a lot for my DJ career. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I've had it over the time. I've gotten a little desensitized to being a fanboy or super fan, like, you know, with some artists.
Yeah.
There's a couple out there that I'd be like, okay, this is really cool. I'm like, interviewing such and such, you know, and you know, you gotta kind of. I remember back in the day when I first started this business, I was working on a hip hop television show, and the producer of that show, exec, was like, "Who would you really like to meet and see in the industry?" I'm like, "Oh, this rapper, this rapper, this rapper," and this is in the early mid '90s, you know. And I probably would have been like, "Oh my God, I'm meeting Too Short," or "Oh gosh, I'm meeting NWA or Dr. Dre and Eazy-E." You know, wow, this is cool. But you know, in the industry, I find there's a lot more. They're approachable. People are approachable. People are nice. They don't have, at least the bigger name artists or number of artists that I've met that are in the industry are very laid back and chill. You know, they're very humble. They're very real people. The ego is gone. You know, they're very, I mean, sometimes I think they get a little intimidated when I do interviews with them, because I'll be like before the show, we're hanging out. It's like, hey, Andrea, you know, it's going like this. And then I go lights, camera, action, and it's 5, 4, 3. Welcome back. And they go, oh gosh, I didn't know this was going to be a serious interview. You can see them sit up in their chair and they're almost intimidated by me. And I'm like, hey, you know, fun stuff there. But it's really cool meeting people behind the stages, you know, and the partnerships or friendships that can be forged. You know, it's always great to get praise of people saying that was a great interview or that was a great set, or you hear them drop your track and you're backstage, you're like, what? That's awesome stuff too. You know, what speaking of meeting people in business backstage and being in the industry, what has been, you'd say the best business partnership or deal that you've ever made that you could say, this took my career from here to here, or this, I remember making this decision that made my career go from here to here? Anything that really stands out that you could say made that from here to here point?
As a DJ here in my hometown, I decided 3 or 4 years ago to focus on in the tech house world, okay, in the tech house world, because as a resident DJ, you have to play a lot of jams, okay, a lot of jams. You have to play maybe pop, maybe trap, maybe also in commercial clubs, okay. You have to play a lot of music, okay. I took this decision because I want to build a career as a DJ in this kind of music. So I love this kind of genre of music. I love tech house. I love house music. So I decided not to play pop or trap or hip hop anymore, because okay, maybe some tracks are good. I like some tracks from pop world, some tracks from hip hop, but the feeling that house music give me, it's more, it's bigger. It's bigger emotions, So I decided to focus only in this kind of music direction. Also, as a producer, maybe when I started making beats when I was younger, I was making maybe hip hop, some also maybe drum and bass, dubstep. But when I decided to focus only in one direction, this step I think elevated my career.
It's definitely, I've seen some producers, some artists, and they kind of go all over the spectrum, and they're trying to find their place, or they follow the charts. And I've talked with a lot of people over the years asking, do you follow the charts and what's hot? And they usually say you don't want to follow what's hot, because by the time you're there, it's going to be something else. So focus on what you want to focus on, become known for that, and get into that genre. Play around and do what you want to do, but if you really be known for a sound, or known for something, focus on that. Find the niche in that. Find people in your collaborative area that are going to help you focus on that, rather than, I want to produce house, and I want to produce techno, and I want to produce trance, and I want to produce dubstep, and I want to produce it all because I have access to this library and Ableton and beat and nobody can decide, who are you? What are you going to do? Break in first somewhere, and maybe form a collective or a group, or get in with a group of artists and collaborate with others. And then say, okay, I got this other side project over here, let's go that route. Unless you got a bunch of money and you can do it all and publicize it, and build it your own, do your own label and push your own stuff out there. But yeah, definitely folks. I was talking with somebody, a group team yesterday, Science, and they said, one of the things that they rank on Spotify playlists for music is their old stuff that isn't even stuff they produce anymore, but it's still highly tracking and puts them in the algorithms in Spotify. And they're like, we can't get our new stuff. It's there, but it's not what people are finding us on Spotify. So they listen to us and they go, huh? Or they're at a concert and they're playing, and people say, let's go see Science. And they go, well, let's listen to them. And the first thing that pops up is their older works. And they're like, well, what do we do? Do we remove that? Because it's gotten us millions of downloads, or online or on Spotify. Do we remove that from Spotify and go with this? But now we're taking ourselves out of that algorithm. People might not be able to find us. So it's very interesting and fickle at that standpoint, especially when you want to change genres as an artist. It's very interesting. I'm doing that. So sticking in and finding your lane that you want to stay in is, I think, key. good growing point there. Now, you also do a podcast series as well. What's the name of the podcast series, and what's it all about?
The name of the podcast is Tune Talks, and I made with this podcast with my best friends. That also he works with me in some clubs as a MC. Okay, he's a MC, a presenter. He's a very strong. He has a very strong personality on the stage. Okay, but every single weekend on Sunday we go out. We usually go out to have maybe a dinner with our friends, and on this dinner we only talk about what happened in the weekend. Okay, what kind of music we played. This club did this DJ did this, and we thought we have to make a podcast talking about what we played, what we felt playing this kind of music, what happened in the club scene in our hometown in Italy. And it all started as like a game, you know. We were having fun with this podcast, saying live this kind of this kind of experiences we have on the weekend. So it started as a game, but I don't know how, I don't know why. A lot of people here in Italy started watching us, and a lot of our content on TikTok and Reels went completely viral in Italy. So it started as a game, but now it's like one of the most followed podcast of the club scene in Italy.
Nice, congratulations on that. You know, now I would take it that this whole podcast is done in Italian, correct?
Yeah, in Italian.
How often do you translate it anywhere for anything, or is it just all?
Not yet. Only in Italian, because our audience right now it's the Italian club scene. So we make it all Italian.
Well, we'll have to talk about that off show. I'm definitely want to talk with you about that more in the background. See what we can do. Maybe partnering together and doing something together outside of your series, your podcast, and of course the DJ sessions. What is a show that you really like watching, say on YouTube or a podcast? Do you subscribe to them? Do you watch other people's shows?
Yes, but it's not a show or a podcast about music.
What is it?
I'm a huge fan of an Italian streamer called Savi Ultras, and he streams and play Call of Duty as a professional player.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I love watching this guy killed everyone in this game in Call of Duty, and he's a very famous player in Italy, and also in Europe. He won a lot of titles here in Italy and in Europe as a Call of Duty player. And I don't know, maybe it's some relaxing time for me watching this guy play Call of Duty, and I am a huge fan.
Yeah, I mean, video game sports, I mean, I could see it's already happening. That I guarantee you there's going to be something as big, not necessarily as the Olympics where they build a stadium for it, maybe 20 years in the future, but it's definitely taking that route where you're going to have the video game Olympics. I could see that, and they're going to have multiple things going on, different competitions, the countries coming in. It's already happening with the different games setting them up, but I don't think there's one huge conglomerate. I mean, in our own backyard, we had an exposition or a convention called PAX, Penny Arcade Exchange. It started here in Seattle because we had, we have Microsoft with Xbox, we have Nintendo in our backyard, literally I can almost see their headquarters from where I live. But it started here in Seattle. It became really big. They did PAX East in Boston. Now they have PAX EU, PAX Australia, and this is where all the video games get released. There's more stuff that happens there, but a lot of that stuff surrounds PAX, and it's just very awesome seeing the video game world. Me being a video game kid growing up, I don't have much time to play them anymore.
Exactly.
But I'm more of a strategy type game player. And first person shooters are great, but it's really awesome seeing that take off. And a lot of people. Some people don't get it. Some people don't get watching. I got a friend of mine who's in his late 50s, mid-late 50s. Like, my husband watches this, and I don't get it. I don't get why I wouldn't want to watch video games all day long. I'm like, okay, but there's content. There's something, especially if the player's good. Sometimes you can watch some of these players, and you might be watching for 2 hours, and nothing's happening. And so, you got to understand if you're performing, it's just like a regular show. You got to be doing some cool stuff or be good at it. And when they get picked up, and if he's on YouTube or on Twitch, probably making a nice little paycheck too if he's having thousands
exactly
of people watch. I mean, I just did some numbers recently just as a performing artist, and if they had so many bits being given to them per show, if they had so many subscribers per month at just the $5 level or the $25 level, how much they could be making per year, and on just rough numbers that I could calculate on one stream, or maybe about $500,000 a year, without breaking a sweat, depending on what their cuts are with Twitch, because they take a little bit.
Of course, there. American streamers, maybe it's different from only Italian streamer. American streamer, I think they are being watched by a lot of people around the world, so it's completely different income. It's
very interesting, that realm. And I mean, I was doing live streaming DJ shows 10 years before it became the hit, the thing. Obviously we had this thing called the pandemic, that put everyone online, and people thought I was crazy because they'd come and say, who would want to watch a DJ live streaming? And I would say, well, have you ever listened to a radio show before? Basically listen to a DJ play. You don't have to sit there and look at the screen the whole time.
Exactly.
But you're putting it on, you can interact with them, you can be in a chat room, you can see them, they can give shout outs, there's that interactivity that you can do that I thought was so much more than just a podcast series or a broadcast television show where you couldn't interact with the show. You couldn't interact with the viewer. You could say something later on in the chat room, but it wasn't live when the show was going. I mean, I guess you could. We set up some tips and tricks back in the day to do that, but now live streaming is such a phenomenon. I think it's here to stay. I'm looking more towards. I'm always usually 10 years ahead of the game. We can't wait to see what's going to happen in the virtual reality world or the augmented reality world. Things coming out. It's not there yet, but we have a VR nightclub. We're ready for it. And when AR comes out, I'm already looking at setting up augmented reality nightclub environments out and go to a park. You have the whole nightclub, like put on your glasses and you're transformed.
In another dimension. Stuff.
I think that's going to be something that's really awesome as the technology gets better. Probably about 5 years. I don't think it'll be 10 years out, but cool stuff there. So after all of this, Andrea, when you're done taking a break from all of this stuff, podcasting, traveling, shows, music production, what do you enjoy doing the most outside of all this?
As I told you, I'm really a passionate motorcyclist.
Yeah.
I have my BMW. I'm very proud of my little baby motorcycle, and I really love to take my motorcycle and make long trips with my wife or with my friends. But when I have also maybe 1 hour of free time, I take my motorcycle and go around. That's the one.
Yeah, I bet you. I mean, I haven't been to Milan before, but I can just imagine it'd be a city that you definitely have a great time driving and riding around in. Maybe I have to do the whole moped thing when I get over there. I won't have a motorcycle, but at least a moped to get around and check it out and stuff. That'd be really cool. Is there anything else you want to let our DJ Sessions fans know before we let you go?
A lot of music are coming out. In October, I will make a release of an official remix of Leandro da Silva hit Dime Mami. Will be out on the 25th of October, and I will write my next gigs on my Instagram. So if anyone is interested to see my shows where I'm gonna play, or if somebody wants to listen to my music, can take a look on my Instagram or my SoundCloud or my Spotify.
Definitely, and that's it right there. The Andrea Grasselli _ ATCG DJ.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I know we're going to be following up with you and what's going on, especially looking forward to getting that mix from you from ADE if you're playing that secret show with Origami, and getting some of your tracks up on our site here in the near future. Andrea, thank you so much for coming on
the
DJ sessions today.
Thank you, Darren. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. On that note, don't forget to go to our website, thedjsessions.com. Check us out there. Over 700 news stories published every month, over 2,700 plus past episodes, live interviews just like this one you're watching right now, exclusive mixes, our VR nightclub. Check it out. We got our new mobile app version 2.0 coming out, our new music section here. We have a radio station in the works, in the launch, in the back end. There's going to be so much more, and that and our social, so you can help follow along with us and help get us bumped up out there and discover new artists like ATCG, Andrea Grasselli, on the DJ Sessions, and all and more at thedjsessions.com. I'm your host, Darren, coming to you from the virtual studios in Seattle, Washington. That's Andrea Grasselli, ATCG, coming in from Milan, Italy for the DJ Sessions. And remember, on the DJ Sessions, the music never stops.